Hey, Shishari. Sorry, my hair's still a little wet. Do, 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 do. Look at my cool mug. Hey, Pantalina and Amber and Layla. Hola, hola. Hey, Carly. Michelle, and we have two Michelles. And Jenna and Beth. Hey, everybody. And Sheepishness. Denise and Lauren. Hey, Swifty Michelle. And Sophie Joe. Keely. Emma Cupcake. Sydney. Sarah. Hey, hey, hey. Allie's here. Katerina. Maria. Everybody's here. Happy Friday, you guys. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, wow. Carly has almost 15,000 coins, you guys. She has gotten really good at collecting them.
She's mining it.
She's mining. She's mining for coins. Hey, Keely. Thanks for the applause. Happy Friday, you guys. I got to get my water. I left it over here. Ugh. I forgot. And make sure my phone is silenced, because it is not. I was a little slow getting ready today, hence why my hair is still wet. But, you know, we do our best. Okay, there we go. Now you can see all your wonderful things. And behind me, do you guys see? Choop, choop. What was the name of this one? Jemima? I think Jemima. Hey, everybody. It's finally Friday. Woo, woo. I know we're trending already. And it's so funny. You know how we're doing those monthly T-shirts? One of the people who's helping me design one of them, she put woot woot, and she's like, "You always say woot woot on the live streams." And I was like, "Really?" And I do. I just did. That just happened. You guys heard it here first. Oh yay! Erin is here. How is everybody doing? Oh, thanks, Miss Sweet. Yeah, I do. I work hard. I work hard for the money. But look at this cute little... Did you guys see this? Did you see it? Hey, Annie. Oh, whoop, whoop. Yep. Somebody asked how you're doing too, Sean. He's fixing the light right now.
Sorry, I had it crooked.
Oh, it looks like I have lipstick on. I actually don't. My lips are just really dry. Super exciting. Oh, now you made it freak out.
Oh, freak out.
Freak out. I don't know why it has trouble when the light gets moved. That's not going to work for the camera for some reason. Ooh. Okay. Oh. I think the light is too high or something, honey. It doesn't.
Still.
It's freaking out. I know. I'm sorry, you guys. The camera, if the light is like hitting the camera directly, it doesn't like it at all. And it like... Okay.
It's better.
Nope. Now we're in the dark. Okay, sorry guys, the party lights. I know, free epilepsy screening. Can it handle it? I think we're good. It's just when you walk right in front of it, it like, I don't know. I don't know what it does. Okay guys, sorry about the rave lights. I promise that's not what we're doing today, okay? It's just, in truth, I think I need a nicer laptop, but you know, there's a lot of things that I need that are more important than a laptop. So, yep. And Nico, Kuroi Nico says, light him up. Oh, yay, Bridget, you made it. Howdy doody. So anyway, Simply Jenna says, oh, shucks, I came for the rave. I love it. I know. It is a new series. Okie dokie. So, anyways, T-shirts are coming along. I saw many of you signed up for that on Patreon. That's awesome. So excited. And I will be making them, I think, probably next weekend, because this weekend is Super Bowl Sunday, and that, like, I don't know why, it, like, ruins the weekend almost, because it's like a whole day is just eaten up. Oh, thanks, Ava. Is eaten up by the footballness. And so it makes, getting together with friends and making the T-shirts a little bit more tricky, but I'm excited. The people who are designing them have gotten me some of their designs. It's going to be so great. So thank you for all of you who are, who signed up for it and everything. Oh, okay. Sadie's asking if I'm going to Playlist Live. Yes, I am. I'm going to the one in Orlando. That's all they've announced thus far, so they reached out and asked if I would go to that again, so I will be there. What I'm doing is TBD. We don't really know which panels I'm going to be on yet. However, they've asked if I'd be on panels, and then I did sign up for a meet and greet so I can see all of you wonderful people there. Yeah. So hopefully if you live in the Orlando area, you can come hang out and say hi. Yeah, Ava, she's like, t-shirts, so awesome. I hope you guys like them. So far, the designs are super cute, and I just hope that I can make them. My friend Courtney, who has the screen printing machine, she's like, oh, it's easy. We just print out this thing and then swipe, swipe, swipe with the colors you like. And I'm like, okay, keep my fingers crossed. Oh, Letitia Lovejoy is here. Hello, hello. I actually just finished those raspberry choco logs that you sent. Thank you, thank you. And I met with Haley. If you guys didn't know, oh, thanks, Dawn to Dusk, or Erin. So just the other, when was it? Last week, I guess. No, it was this week. Was it? The weeks are all smushed together. But I got to meet up with Haley from our community. She's all the way from, I think she's actually in Sydney, Australia right now, but she's from Melbourne originally. And we got to meet up and have coffee and chat, and she gave me the Vegemite and told me exactly how to use it. But I'm curious, she said just the smallest amount on buttered toast. Define small amount. Is that like just a little bit, like the tip of my finger, or what? I'm not sure because I'm afraid to try it, but Alex is like, I do not like Vegemite. And I know I got my nails done. I don't get my nails done that often, maybe once every 6 weeks. So I was super excited. I did a little self-care the other day. Oh, it's really strong. Okay. A little bit of Vegemite is none. A dab. Okay. Smallest amount possible. A scraping. Okay. Try it on Sean first. Sean actually is the most adventurous eater. He'll try anything. But I think you've already tried Vegemite, haven't you? No. Nope, he has not. Ooh, we have a new subscriber. Alden Zay. Did I say that right? Yay. I like that picture. Did you draw that? The snail on the mushroom? Ooh. Okay, Dawn to Dust says she's driving home now. Did some grounding. We'll stop back in when I get home. Yay! Oh, you got your nails did too, Denise. Whoop, whoop. Oh, yeah, and thanks for sharing and letting people know how to subscribe. Yay! Awesome. No, we don't have Marmite or Vegemite. I'm sure...
Is there a difference?
Yeah, is there a difference? Asking for a friend? I haven't seen it at the grocery store. Have you, Sean?
No.
Yeah, I think it's a strictly a UK/Australia thing. I'm not sure where Marmite, is that a UK? Ooh, new subscriber. I'm not sure how to say that. That dude deuce? Dude ice? That dude ice. I can read kind of. Okay. Oh, there is a difference. Okay. Marmite, yum. Oh, it's Marmite's from New Zealand.
Oh.
And in the UK, I've never had either of those, you guys. I truly don't know what.
I got my messages back.
Oh, Sean got his messages back. I think he must have ran out.
Oh, it's the beginning of the month, that's why.
Oh, yeah, it's the first of the... Hey, wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Okay.
Let's guess somebody.
Oh, yeah, I know. Let's guess somebody. Let's start off with a guest. Be our guest. Oh, Miss Swede. We haven't had you on before. Oh, UK Marmite is horrible. Hi.
Oh my god.
How are you?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Oh my god, this is so weird. I didn't expect that.
Perfect. It works so easily. So what's going on? How are things?
Oh. Another gang member.
What do you mean another gang member?
Yeah, she's
Oh,
coming.
I can't see. It's frozen. Oh,
really?
very cool. You're a Hufflepuff too. I love it. Oh, there you are. Ta-da!
I'm kind of, hello. Yeah, I'm kind of Gryffindor, kind of Hufflepuff, a bit of both.
Yeah, I'm a Hufflepuff Ravenclaw. So
Okay. Yeah. A bit of that too. I get everything except Slytherin, so...
Yeah, exactly. Which, I assume is a good thing, but, no discrimination. They've
No,
got
exactly.
their, That's so cool. Did you make that yourself?
No, I got it at the Leavesden Studios in the UK.
Wow, that's
really
really
recommend
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool. I'm glad you were frozen for a bit. I had to look at Sean's computer to see it. I don't know what was going on. But now I see it's fine.
I'm coming all the way from Norway. I can hear you just fine, so...
Perfect. Okay, cool. Wonderful. So what's going on?
Yeah, I found you, what is it now, 6 months ago or something, so I'm really happy
Oh,
that you did
yay.
these things.
I'm glad. How'd you find me? Just out of curiosity. I'm always curious. Did you search for
Yeah.
something or?
I think I was looking at something with like anxiety, and then you kind of popped up as like a recommendation on YouTube, and then then I've been watching a few of your videos since then.
Awesome. Awesome. Yay. Well, I'm happy that you could be on today. I'm glad that you found, my channel. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
How do you do it? Like, do you do this and therapy at the same time, like with your?
Yeah, I still see clients in my practice. I just don't do, I used to back in the day. It's been over has it been 2 years now? I think it's been over 2 years since I quit my full-time job, but I used to work at an inpatient ward and then a hospital and see clients. And a lot of therapists do that. Like, we work multiple jobs just to make ends meet and to maybe get health insurance, from one of those people. And so I used to do all of those things all at once, and then I slowly kind of cut back until now I just do YouTube and this, and then I see my clients at my private practice 2 days a week.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's been 2 years since I quit, Carly. Isn't that crazy? Sorry, I'm looking at the chat. Did you have any questions or anything I can help you with?
Oh gosh, I don't really know. I didn't really prepare. I've been trying to find help since I was like since I was like 17 or so. So 7 years ago. And I think, I've finally found a therapist here now. I'm just not sure. I feel like it's still, like, it's been half a year, but I still feel like it's in the getting to know you phase. Although she's starting to kind of realize what it is that I need.
Okay.
Have you heard of what's called metacognitive therapy?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And has it been helpful at all? It sounds like maybe not yet.
I don't know, like, I've just been, like, it feels like I've been just talking, and I've been trying to do this, because I move around a lot as well, so I've been kind of, like, changing, and finding new people to talk to, and it's kind of, like, it gets pretty complicated, and I feel like I'm always saying the same thing over and over again and not getting anywhere. So, but basically, she realized that I do a lot of, rumination, basically. Yeah. So, I have a problem with that, and, lately also I've been having over the years I've been getting more and more like physical symptoms, like psychosomatic symptoms. Like I get really tense in my neck and my throat, and I feel like I always have a lump in my throat. And when I notice these things, it kind of like intensifies the whole experience.
Is she offering
So
any tools or tips or tricks or any help for you?
Not yet. I feel like
6
it's
months?
going a bit slow, and I'm also really like shy to ask, like.
Yeah, and I wondered, because there's two things usually that could be going on. Number one, they could not be good at their jobs, because that happens, right? But they also, because it can be hard for clients sometimes to tell us what you're feeling, what's happening, and I think that might be what's happening. And so therefore she doesn't have enough information to really know what to help you with yet. And I don't know if there's other ways, like if writing stuff down and bringing it in would help, or if she allows you to email her between sessions, knowing she won't respond, but like, so you could get it out maybe. Because anxiety is tricky, because a lot of people struggle with anxiety in session anyways, but put on top of that, having an anxiety disorder, it can make it almost impossible.
Yeah. I was reading, or I was watching your trauma videos with Alexa.
Yeah.
And they were really good. Thank you for that.
Oh, I'm glad
I was wondering if I have a bit of that. It was like in some incidents that I had when I was young, and they kind of like changed. They triggered a switch in my mind, and I don't know if what I experience is like kind of a like a freeze symptom when I dissociate something. I don't know if I dissociate, because like when I'm talking with someone, I find it harder to explain things to them. But then I've been writing down things sometimes when I do come up with a thought I keep on having, then I write it down, and then I'll come to her to tell her that.
Okay, perfect.
So I guess
that's helpful. I mean, the thing about therapy that makes it great and hard at the same time is that, like, we as therapists don't know anything if you don't tell us. And that can be great, because we're not coming in with preconceived notions. We don't know, like, your whole family story. We're not like a friend of your family or a friend of yours, we're your therapist. And so that can be great, because we don't come in with any assumptions, but it can be hard if we struggle to tell them. But I'm glad that you tell her about that and feeling like maybe you're dissociating, or, you know, something triggered it and you can know that that's kind of what triggered it. Like, all of that's really helpful. But writing things down and bringing them in, if there are things that you think of during the week, that could really help move it along too. Just because I think that she's going to need more information to help, but something that I actually am going to come out with an anxiety workbook that might help as well. But there are a lot of CBT techniques that can help us kind of challenge those anxious thoughts and where they come from, the beliefs where they come from. That hopefully, you know, if you share enough with her, she can offer those up and walk you through them and give you the proper homework and work with you on it. Because it does get better. It's just, 6 months really isn't that long for seeing someone if we're struggling to let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, but you like her? You feel like she's good and helpful?
I think she's really nice. I just kind of feel, when I'm sitting there, I kind of feel like, I don't know how to describe it. I kind of feel like ashamed in a way. Like, I can't really always tell her how I'm feeling. Like, I'm always like ashamed to tell someone about what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, it takes some getting used to, but know that there's no shame in struggling, or no shame. Everybody has hard times, right? And that's what she's there for. And trust me, she's heard everything, and she's heard probably a lot worse. So there's no judgments around it. She's just there to listen.
I just
and
I'm very perfectionistic, kind of, so.
Yeah, I would let her know even that, like even writing that down, like I struggle to open up, you know, I feel kind of ashamed, or I feel guilty about this, or I'm nervous to share this because I'm afraid of what you're going to think. You know, it can be all that different stuff. And then just giving it to her. Like in the chat, someone was saying that they give their therapist their list of things, because then there's no turning back. Like, they've got the information and I can't take it away, and then hopefully they'll use that and, you know, and help you.
That's true. Yeah, they're there to do that, to help you. Yeah, I have to remember that.
Yeah. So maybe try writing it down and let us know if it helps.
Yeah, I will. I just also one last question. I'm like, with the whole like psychosomatic symptoms that I have, I don't really know who to talk to. Like, if it's really just psychosomatic, or, you know, because if I go to a doctor, like, I feel like they don't really know how to help.
Somatic, you have to talk to your therapist.
Yeah.
And you can ask to get referred. Like, you can ask to see a psychiatrist, because they can help with stuff like that too. But those are the two things I would do. I mean, in the end, they probably will have you go to a doctor just to make sure nothing else is going on, or at least I always do, just because we want to at least be able to rule that out. And usually I'll call the doctor first before you go in and say, like, hey, they're coming in and they're struggling with this, and I just want to make sure they're psychosomatic symptoms and not signs of something else. And then they'll, you know, do a checkup and then let me know. But yeah, most likely it's like as you work in therapy, and if you see a psychiatrist, or medication could be an option, like any of those things could make that go away.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, keep us posted.
I will. Also, check out my Hogwarts model.
Oh, wow. Did you put that together yourself?
Yeah. Well, it was a thing that I bought. Like, you can put it. It had like instructions, but the instructions were.
But you put it together with your own 2 hands.
I did.
I'm impressed. I love it. Very cool. Woo woo.
Anyway, I won't take more of your time.
You're
Thank
fine.
you.
Well, it's good to see you. Of course. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Bye.
Bye.
Oop. Okie dokie. I think that's, Layla, or Lila. I forget. I think it's Lila. Well, I'm glad you could get on for a little bit. She's at school, so she's like, I can't stay. Well, I'm glad you're able to come on for just a little bit. So anyway, let's get into some chat. And I think that it is Friday still here. It's actually only 11:21 a.m. here in LA. I think that it's really common for us to not know what to say in therapy, or how to say it, and to be nervous about it, and to be worried, and then anxious, and then wanting help. And thanks, Nirvana Sparkles. Ooh, woo. So know that that's really normal, and that's why I always encourage, you know, like writing it down or emailing. Ooh, Allie Beef, another 400 likes. Woo, woo. And so I think, yeah, it's 11:21 a.m. And so know that that's really normal, but finding ways to kind of circumvent the anxiety that comes up in session that makes it hard to talk can be really helpful. So writing them down, emailing, finding other ways, even talking to your therapist and asking how you could get stuff out to them. You know, would they mind you bringing in your journal and just letting them read part of it? Things like that. Oh, good, Keely. Her therapy went really well yesterday. That's awesome to hear. Yay, yay. And I didn't want to forget, we got a new Patreon patron. Corbin, thank you for becoming a Patreon patron. I love, by the way, that when you join Patreon, if you don't put a photo of yourself in, it gives you like a little animal. It's a little animal like face in a little circle. So cute. Looks like a little dog. And I think maybe you can pick a dog, cat. I don't know. Okay.
So Carly's saying Emma said to say hi. I think Emma's the musician that she listens to.
Oh, Emma's not Emma Wicks?
No, I think it's Emma McCann.
Oh, Emma McCann, who's on.
Yeah, I think that Carly sees her broadcast. We should have her on the show.
Oh.
Like, guest on hers or her guest on you, play some guitar.
Yeah, we should. Carly, is Emma the one Emma McCann? Is that who you're talking about? I keep freezing. Okay. Oh yeah, Allie, I knew that. Yep, I did. But yeah, if that's, what do you guys think about that? Sean and I have been talking about maybe having someone on, like we guest on theirs, they guest on ours, like especially someone who plays music, like maybe we have a little musical act in the middle of the live stream. I know that sounds silly. Oh yes, okay, so it is that girl. But yeah, maybe I'll reach out to Emma and see if she wants to come on for a hot minute. I think it'd be kind of fun. We can create like it's almost like one of those like live TV shows, you know? Like we just have our segments and we do different segments. I think it could be, oh, Allie B could play a song. That would be awesome. Yeah, love to do dual guesting. The people like it.
Has a guitar with them right now if they want to just guest with the guitar.
If you have a guitar and you play some tunes, get into the guesting and I will guest you next. Okay, let's answer some questions though. Oh, hey, Letitia. Thank you. Woo. Okay, let's see. Roxy says, hey, Katie, I've been really struggling with accepting my, control the scroll. It was so easy. Really struggling with accepting my trauma. It doesn't feel real or like this is my life. Any tips? It's halting my therapy. I think that sometimes we have to do, I think journaling can be really helpful with that. That's really what I'm going to say about it, because often the reason that we second guess whether our trauma happened or not could be part of, I had that video about repressed memories, and it could be part of that, but it sounds more to me that it's like, I'm making it up. Did that really happen? Am I remembering it the way that it really happened? Am I making like different parts of it up? And we like second guess the whole story and what we feel happened to us. And so, you could guess in a minute. Yeah, but just a second. Let me finish this question. And so know that that's really normal, but the way that we have to help ourselves get out of it is kind of changing the way we talk to ourselves about the trauma. And a lot of that can be done through journaling and writing it out. And knowing that, and another thing we can do actually too in trauma is we can fact check with people in our lives that are supportive and loving and we're there also, or, talk to us then. And so I think, thanks, Aaron Rar. You invited your fans to the broadcast. Woo. And so just taking time to do that and know that it's a process too. Like the process of working on trauma and recognizing trauma, a lot of it's acceptance. And so talking with your therapist about it and working instead on processing through the trauma. Maybe we work on just the acceptance portion and what is it about it that makes you question yourself? And did someone tell you, that it wasn't true? Or did someone always tell you that no one would believe you? There's a lot of things that it could come from, a lot of different types of trauma and types of situations that could make it really bad. And so just, give yourself a minute, know that it can take time to accept that the trauma did happen and it was real, and talk about it in therapy, but give yourself time. It sounds like maybe things are just moving a little too quickly. And so then, we feel like we're just not even ready to reprocess because we're like, well, I don't even know if it really happened and I just can't do this. And so it's okay to slow down. It's okay, Carly said, Emma said, that sounds good to guesting sometime soon. Woo. So I will definitely reach out. That's awesome. Yay. So anyway, that's just one of those things that I think it's really common. I think that often we move in trauma therapy maybe too quickly, and it takes a little time for our brain to catch up, and know that it's okay to struggle to accept it. But talking about that portion in therapy and focusing on that is perfectly fine. Okay? I know. Okie dokie. Let's see. Oh, and someone says that
That's someone who
Moose says I don't want to accept the trauma from my brother's death. I think a lot of that can be associated with grief. I actually just listened to a CEU yesterday, CEU being continuing education units, about complex, I don't even know if it was called complex, I think it was complex grief, and how it can be compounded upon when it involves other situations, like if it was traumatizing, or if someone in our life who's really close to us refuses to accept the death of someone, and the grief is really hard to come by. And so there's a lot of different components to it. And there's actually, I learned, this was so cool. Hey, Keely, thank you. I actually learned there's a certain type of therapy. If you're really struggling with grief and you find that like years and years and years and years have gone by and it's not getting better, there is a treatment called cohesive grief treatment, I believe. Hold on, let me look it up. Complicated grief. It's called complicated grief, and they do complicatedgrief.columbia.edu. So at Columbia University, they have this is where the woman that did a workshop that I just listened to came from, and there is a type of complicated grief treatment. They call it CGT, complicated grief treatment, and it's 16 sessions. It's really interesting. Anyway, and it's only been 7 months. Give yourself some time. I have a video about grief and grieving, and know that it can take a while, and that's completely okay. Grief is going to look different for everyone. And in the CEU that I just listened to, and this woman was speaking about it, she's like, it's okay to know that you may always be grieving in one way or another, but the goal is to get you back functioning in your life and not having it hinder you that way. But like, I could still grieve the loss of my dad sometimes. I'll have days that are really hard and I miss him, or things that I wish I could call and ask him. So it's like part of my life, but it's like integrated, right? It's just, I can still do my daily things, but sometimes it's just there. And so just give yourself some time, okay? Okie dokie. Let me see. Somebody had asked to guest.
that dude
Yep,
Ice.
that dude Ice. We're going to make you a guest. And Aaron Rohr, I can have you up next. You're the one that invited all of your fans. Happy to have you guest.
Can you hear me?
Hi, I can hear you.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing good. But first I want to say, I've been watching your channel for a while. I think you're amazing. I see what you do, and that's really good what you do. Appreciate that.
Oh, thanks. Of course. Happy to help.
Oh, no problem. But I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Dustin,
Oh, hi, Destin.
Pittsburgh, staying in Newcastle right now, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
21. But
Is it cold over there?
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Everybody's been saying it was snowing the other day, and in New York.
Yeah.
I have a friend in New York, and then it's really cold today.
Yes, our weather is very unpredictable. But
Uh-huh.
I don't really talk about. I'm 21. I'm young, but I've been through a lot. But I know I go to a therapist and psychiatrist, and I really don't even talk there. I just kind of go there just to get away. But
Uh-huh.
they said about axis. Like you have 5 axes. Is that true?
Is what?
I don't know. She said like I'm bipolar 2, and I also have borderline personality disorder.
Okay. That's
Like,
possible.
yeah, so like I'm all like it's all new to me.
Okay.
I always knew I had problems, but like it's still all new to me. I'm still trying to adjust.
And
But,
it takes some time I find something that I don't think people talk about enough, maybe it's something I need to talk about more, is that it can take us some time to kind of accept and understand our diagnosis. Because if someone tells us we have something, we know what symptoms we have, so we can be like, yeah, I do feel depressed, from time to time, or I do feel like overwhelming emotion from time to time. But then when they give us like labels, for a while we're like, is that real? Like, what does that mean? Do I think that that's what it is? And know that it's okay for you to like second guess it and to maybe not agree, and ask questions.
yeah, like I've been like reading on it. Like that's me though. Like I'm not gonna lie, it's me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just stick to myself. You know, I try to be cool with everybody. I write music.
Mhm.
I'm working really hard on my music right now. So
That's
that's
awesome.
how that's my coping skill. Like how when I write my music, that's how I get out how I feel. Or because like my ultimate goal is to help people. That's always what it's been. Right out of high
Mhm.
school, I tried joining the military to be a medic, but I'm colorblind, so you can't be colorblind in medical corps. So that fell through, and then I ended up getting my EMT, and then
Uh-huh.
that I was doing that for a little bit, like for 6 months, and everything was going good. And then I actually ended up getting really sick, so that set me back. I can never catch a break, it seems like, but I'm still doing my best. That's all I can do is do my best.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, getting the diagnosis and the treatment will get better based on that because
Yeah,
now we kind of know what we're working on.
yeah.
And I don't know if you're on any, it sounds like you're on medication, right? Because you're seeing a psychiatrist.
I just started some. Yeah,
Yeah, so give it some time, but especially with the bipolar disorder, if it's bipolar 2, it means you probably spend a lot of time feeling down and depressed. That the medication can really help with that. And hopefully that can give you a little more hope, a little
yeah,
more, levity to your day.
yeah.
Um, but people are asking, do you want to play any music for us?
I mean, I write I write like a lot of music, and I don't really share it. Like me and my friend been doing it since we were like 13, 14 years old. But we actually expanded to like a lot of artists that have been doing well. If you want to look them up, I mean, we did some stuff for them.
No,
Like
that's okay. They were just asking, so I was like, if
honestly,
you could.
right now, like I'm honestly I have a little bit of like stage fright. I'm not,
That's okay.
but I
Nope.
Me too.
Yeah. No pressure. But if you want to come on again later when you feel like making your big debut, we're here.
I followed you on Instagram. It's that dude Ice. If you want to follow me back, you're more than welcome to. But
Okay.
yeah, if you're on here a lot, I'm definitely gonna come to the broadcast. You know.
Yeah, definitely do. I try to do at least one a week, but I've been doing two a week just for different people's time schedules. Like I do one on Fridays usually, and I'll do one on the weekend.
You like this shirt? I'm a '90s baby, so
Oh, that's so cool. I
logo.
love it.
I
I
just
love
got
it. Ren and Stimpy and everything.
it.
I love it. Well, it's so nice to meet you, Dustin.
Sure, nice to meet you too.
Do
But
you have any other questions or anything? You have plenty of time. I'm not booting you
yeah,
off or anything.
yeah. I guess the only question, I don't know. Like I seen like I disassociate a lot. Like if I'm like going through stuff, I literally just like don't cut everybody off, but I just go my own like place. Put on music, put on music, or just sit there and just like try to. I call it processing things. Like I need to process things that happen during the day. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
And
like
I think that's.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's so much emotions going on inside. Like I had to sit down and kind of just process things.
Yeah, and I think that's really good. I think that's a really good coping skill you have, because the thing about borderline personality disorder is that it can feel like so much all the
Oh,
time, and
it is.
so it's like overwhelming. And I don't think people understand like how overwhelming it can feel. And if we don't take time to give our like don't take the time we need, because everyone's amount of time is gonna be different to process through it, think about it, bring ourselves back down, we can get really irritable, we can lash out because we're maxed out all the time. So I think that's a really great coping skill that you do that. I'm glad that you take time for it. Just make sure you're not completely isolating,
Yeah.
but as long as it sounds like you still, spend time with friends and you socialize. And I'll have some more videos coming out about DBT because it's the
Yeah.
therapy that's best for that.
I'm gonna be actually with my therapist. She wants me to start it, but I kind of been I don't know wary about it. I guess I need to get on it. But
It's okay. It's okay. When you're ready, you're ready. And it is an intensive program. Like there's a lot of homework and follow-up stuff, but it really, really helps.
yeah,
So keep us posted. Let us know if you're starting that and how it's going.
sure. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, but the main thing I feel like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I write a lot of my stuff down too, but I usually say like I feel hurt, I'm hurt, but also at the same time I feel fear and confusion. Those are my three things that I feel. It's like all at the same time. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I know what you mean. That honestly, like my clients with BPD, that's how they express it. They're like, I feel like 12 different emotions all the time, and I don't even, like, one of the homework assignments I usually give my clients is a feelings chart, and I make them like circle what they're feeling in the moment, and I have them try to do it like twice a day. And it can be really hard, but it's also great for you to know, okay, I'm feeling angry because of blank. I'm feeling sad because of blank, and I'm, feeling excited because of, and so you're kind of breaking down, because it's almost like, I'd be curious to know if those of us who have borderline personality disorder, if our brain just takes more time to process through the emotions. Because in truth, it feels like someone might go through their day and experience all this stuff and be okay. But if we have BPD, kind of just need more time to like slow down. Okay, that happened and I felt sad, but I can move on because it's, like, it's like it takes us a little longer, but we can still get there. And I think it's great that you can identify some of your emotions, and you can actually go online and like print out feeling charts if that's something you want to try. Because they can kind of help us slow down and recognize what it is we're feeling versus just being like, it's just too much,
I'm going to definitely try that. That sounds very good technique to help.
Yeah.
One more thing before I go. I'm sorry.
Of course.
Like, I always try to help people. Like, I have a really big heart. Like, honestly, like, I always get like, end up just hurt in the end. That's what it seems like. Like, I don't know. Like, for example, like, I grew up in public housing, so like, or the area I grew up in, you can't really show emotion. But I had so much emotion, and I care so much about people.
Yeah.
That was hard for me growing up. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly, like, I thank God. If it wasn't for God or my family, like, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm doing so much better than I was like when I was 16. But I'm 21. I'm still going through my stuff, but I'm doing a lot better, I would say.
Yeah, and I think growing up in kind of a gotta be tough, can't show emotion environment can be really hard. I think that because like, no matter if we have, even if you didn't have borderline personality disorder, we still have a lot of emotion as humans. And as we go through things, especially growing up in kind of like, maybe it was poverty stricken, or maybe people around you were, having a really hard time, or you witnessed things that were hard to see, or, were witnessing things that were just, not the best. And as children, we don't know what to do with that. And it can cause a lot of like emotional buildup and make it really hard, especially if we're kind of told like, we don't talk about that, or, it's not okay to show that. And you're kind of, it's demonstrated and maybe said that we just don't show emotion. Some of the work you'll probably do in therapy is just kind of even talking through that a little to let some of those emotions out. I know it can feel overwhelming. Like, oh my God, if I even tap into it, it's like, like, like gonna explode. But I think, understanding where you were coming from and what you were feeling at the time, I think could be really healing.
I have a hard time letting people in. I gotta get better with it.
No, it's okay. It's like protective, right? Because it could be hard if you lost someone. I think that's one of the hardest things for those of us with BPD, is like the thought of losing someone is overwhelming. So we often push everybody away.
I lost so many people. I lost my dad, grandparents, lost a lot of friends. Like this, actually 10 days, this is for my friend right here.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss.
2 years for him. He was 90.
Yeah.
But,
wow.
Yeah, I subscribed, and like I said, you can follow me if you want on Instagram. But
yeah.
Get you talking to me.
Yeah, of course.
What's Dustin's Instagram?
Thanks.
Account?
Is your Instagram the same as this?
Dude Instagram is the same. That dude ice.
Okay.
That dude ice.
Right now.
Sean, my husband Sean, he's going to it right now. Very cool. Well, thanks for being on.
Oh, no problem. I'll have to do it again sometime if you don't mind. But
no, not at all.
But yeah, have a good day.
Yeah, you too, and keep us posted. Let us know how things are going, okay?
Thank you for sure. Thank you so much.
Of course. Bye, Dustin.
I didn't get that.
Yay!
I got a 10-year-old Asian kid.
THT.
THT.
Not
Okay.
That. Okay.
I was like,
sorry. But I think that can be really hard, and I really, thanks for sharing your story, Dustin. I think it's really great for people to hear that because I think a lot of people feel that way. And I know that people with BPD feel things so intensely, and people can talk so bad about the diagnosis as if it's never going to get better. But I even got a comment yesterday, and I wish there was a way for me to like promote a comment, like pew, versus just pinning it to the top, because it was an old video. It was under the BPD video, and this woman, I think she said she was 42, and she's like, I worked in DBT and in personal therapy for 3 years, and I'm happy to say that I no longer meet the criteria for the diagnosis of borderline personality disorder. She's like, I want all of you out there to know that it can and will get better. And I just thought that was such a powerful message and such a great thing for those people to hear who struggle, because often we're just told that we're bad people, or, you know, I don't know, it's just told a lot of nasty things versus being told that it can get better and there are treatments out there and you can manage and change the way that you interact with people, and you can learn ways to cope with your emotions. And anyway, I just thought that was a really great comment, and I wish that, you know, this is my way of promoting it. So anyway, good to know, good to know. Oh yeah, Sophie Jo, I thought it was great. Emma, I'll try to get you on. Yeah, I can definitely try to be guested. I am just trying to get through all of the people. Oh, I see you, Bridget, in there, and Alexandra. I told Aaron that I would have him on, and then we will go back up to the top, and I will have Bridget on. Let's see what Aaron is up to, and then I'll answer some questions in the chat. Hi, Aaron.
Hi.
How are you?
I love you so much. Okay, so for those of y'all that don't know, I've been watching her on YouTube for 2 years.
Oh.
So, yes, I am a big fan of your work that you've done on YouTube about BPD. Because let me tell you what's different about her, is she makes it to where it can be talked about. So that's nice.
True.
So I have BPD, and I also struggle with depression. And I have learned a lot of coping skills all on my own. I guess I have a very adaptive personality.
Yeah, that's awesome though.
So,
hey.
Yes. So I want to get my doctorate in psychology. I want to be a psychologist for LGBT youth and young adults for a living.
That's awesome.
I want to help youth and young adults in general, and I want the conversation to be about how we can help each other. So,
yeah. That's
yes.
awesome. Well, keep me posted on that. That's really cool. Where are you at? Because it said the States, right?
I live in the DFW area in Texas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
I was just over there last week. Yes. If I'd have known. We flew into Dallas and did a couple of collaborations and went to Austin.
Oh, okay.
And I have to be honest, I loved it. Everybody was super nice.
Yes. And I don't know if I guess, do you have any advice for someone that's really struggling with the means to get started in with the college and trying to further their education and things of that nature? What advice do you have for that?
I think the best advice I can give is just starting. Finding a program that sounds good to you. And I can't describe it any other way, because I honestly went to a lot of different colleges, to visit when I was younger, to see which one felt good. And I know that just sounds weird, but it's like anything, with people, right? You get a good feeling about them, and it's that way with schools. And so I looked up a bunch of different programs, especially because you kind of know what your niche is, what you want to work in, which is awesome. And there needs to be more people doing that. And so since you know that, you can kind of cater what school you look at based on that. Mm-hmm. And then I would go check it out and start. I mean, that's the thing. I know it seems oh, it's so overwhelming and there's so much to do. But the truth is that the first step is just doing it, filling out the paperwork, going to see it. And then you just start. And if you can go full time, that's awesome. If you can't afford to go full time and you go part time, that's also awesome. And I think the best thing that I ever did was working directly with the school counselors there. And not school counselors being because I was in therapy too, and that's a whole separate thing. And I think keeping that up is good and very important. But working with the counselors and the counseling office to help guide my schooling, because they helped me keep on track. And they're these are the classes that you're going to need. And I just met with them regularly to make sure I was on track for what I wanted. And they helped me get an internship when I was looking for them, because I had a hard time finding one, because I needed to get paid something because I paid for my school. And Yeah, I think talking with them can really make a difference too, because it can make sure that you feel like you're on the right track and you're doing what you need to do to get where you want to get, you know?
Yeah.
Are there any
And the
programs?
other thing is,
Go ahead.
I was actually somewhere, and this gay woman came in, because I used to do retail, and
Uh-huh.
this gay woman came in, and I was like, and she was like, well, I actually do therapy for a living, and I was like, how did you get started?
Yeah.
And she said, if you're younger and you're just starting, she said, even just going to a homeless shelter and just talking to people and being there for people, she goes, that's an amazing start. And so, yeah, just volunteering.
One of my first jobs, and I mean, job is a loose word. I didn't really get paid much at all, but I think it's good. The best thing I did between undergrad and grad school was I worked at this foster home for pregnant teens, teen girls. And I did it because I wanted to make sure that I really wanted to do what I thought I wanted to do. And so I was like essentially counseling them about their issues and teaching them parenting techniques and just all sorts of different stuff. And I think that that's really great advice, like volunteering, doing something similar to what you're wanting to do to make sure that it's the right fit, because you'd be surprised sometimes. Like, I thought I wanted to work with children, and then I started and was like, nope, can't do it. Not gonna work. So I think, volunteering at your local LGBTQ, center, seeing what events are going on. If there isn't one, is there something you can work with someone to start or to do something or to volunteer at the homeless shelter or spend time, I think it'd be really great to like get out there, try it out, get involved. And that can help you meet other people too that can help guide your schooling as well. Like,
My Twitter and Instagram is attached to my profile.
Okay. People asking.
But anyways, so just, I have to say this while I'm in here, because there's so many people in here and I feel like it needs to be said. If you have BPD, there is hope, there is treatment, and there are things that you can do to get better.
Yes.
I have BPD and I am living proof.
Yeah.
Capture that moment.
I know.
There you go.
People are capturing the moment. Yay! I agree, though, because people act like it's like that nothing can be done, and that's just bullshit.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. Yeah, there is always a way. And I've learned that one of the best things that I like to do, for me, like for my BPD, I have this thing that I like to call the ocean of emotion.
Oh, perfect.
And I am constantly at the bottom with an anchor, and I'm just feeling all this shit, and I'm like, what the hell do I do?
Like
and I just stop and think. And the best advice my therapist gave me is go to your place of peace. Mm-hmm. Go to a time. Go to that place where you're going to have peace in your mind, and that's helped me super a lot.
Yeah. No, because then instead of feeling like you're drowning in it, you can feel like you're surfing it, like you're just kind of rolling with it. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I love analogy, and like it's such a visualization, like feeling like the ocean.
So like when I feel something, sometimes like love is like, oh my God, I'm crying. Happiness is like, oh my God, I'm crying. So it's like, no matter what, you're just crying all the time. And then I finally was like, okay, I can breathe.
Yeah, totally. It's like giving yourself permission,
Yes.
So because I think a lot of it is like, because people will say, oh, you can't, you have to like be calm and like keep it down. And so the keeping it down ends up making us feel like we're trapped at the bottom of an ocean with an anchor, and it's just like we're drowning in it versus being peaceful, allowing yourself to feel. Somebody noticed Demi on your t-shirt.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I went to a concert and I saw Demi Lovato and Nick Jonas live, and it was really cool.
It's a cool t-shirt.
Thank
Wonderful. Do you live stream on here?
I do, a lot.
Okay. Well, you guys make sure you fan him. It's an Aaron Roar, and I think they can click the link for his profile and become a fan and check him out.
Yay,
okay, cool.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks for being on. You're welcome anytime to come on. Such good energy. That was awesome. Oh, good. He got some new, you guys, yay. I think it's really cool for him to share his story and to share the fact that it can get better, because there's so much bullshit out there. Am I right? Okay. So yeah, thanks for being on, Aaron. That was wonderful. Okay, I'm going to have a drink of water because I'm out of coffee. sad day. Okay. Oh, Taylor, I hope I get to see you at VidCon. I hope. And I don't know if you mean the one in Europe or the one in the States, but I will be at both. Okay. Cian Louise Devaney, I don't know if I'm saying that right. She says, I really want to know why I feel so little in age, like either a happy childlike state or really down crying. I have BPD, but why? Okay, so either happy childlike state or really down. Just like we were talking kind of even before, sorry, I'm putting my water down, even before Erin came on, and when we were talking with Dustin, we were talking about today's topic is borderline personality disorder. I feel like that's the, oh, I love that, Manda. It's like hope. Did you guys see that? That's really cool. So I think with borderline personality disorder, the way that our world and society works isn't conducive to us feeling the ocean of emotion, like Erin said. And so a lot of us will feel like in our homes growing up, we might be told that we're too emotional, or we cry too much, or why are you so sensitive? And we can be told this our whole lives. And I don't think people actually understand that people have that experience. I don't think people understand even that they're doing that to someone who has borderline personality disorder, and they act like it's a bad thing instead of understanding that I think it's just being sensitive, and we have to figure out how to still be ourselves, but to manage the sensitivity in our daily life. And that's really where the work is. And that's what the work is in like DBT. And that's why Erin's saying it can get better. Like if I just go to my peaceful place and allow myself to write it out. But if we struggle and we keep saying, I don't have a right to feel this way, I don't know what's going on, I'm so bad, I'm so terrible, and we like shame ourselves for our emotion, then like that person asked, we can go swing between like feeling really, really sad and feeling really, really happy, because we're not really allowing ourselves to feel the whole spectrum of emotions. And if we shut it out, it's just going to burst through in different ways. And that can cause us to feel really, really sad all of a sudden, or even suicidal, or really angry and aggressive. And at the same time, when we get happy, we're like so happy. Like Erin said, I just cry all the time. Like I'd cry because I'm happy. I cry when I'm sad. And so I think if we allow ourselves to breathe and to go to our peaceful place and accept that we have emotions and it's completely okay, we just have to slow it down. Like I loved how Dustin said that he took time to let himself process it, because that's really what we need sometimes. When we feel really overwhelmed and we feel like we're crying and all of a sudden we swung from one to the other, we maybe just need to take time and give our brain the time it needs to process it, because life can be full of emotion, especially if we struggle with borderline personality disorder. It can be so full of emotion. We might just need to give ourselves a little bit more time to breathe, to process, and to feel okay. And I think that when we don't do that is when it can like swing back and forth, and it can feel like it's exploding. Like I loved Erin's analogy of the ocean, because it was like, then I feel like I'm like trapped at the bottom with an anchor like holding me down. I'm just like drowning in it, versus accepting it. You know, doing those feeling charts can help too. Okay. And yes, of course you can ask questions that besides BPD. It just happened to be kind of like the trend that was happening right now. Ooh, Marie22, new subscriber. I know we had a couple other new subscribers, but when I have someone guesting, I don't like to interrupt them to, you know, try to be respectful of their time. Okay, Amanda says, my therapist had me write feelings, but I had to get an alternate name for them. Thesaurus. It's actually mind shifting. Oh, interesting. So that's a great idea, Amanda. Thanks for sharing. So her therapist had her write out her feelings, and instead of using the direct feeling word like angry, sad, overwhelmed, exhausted, whatever, had to come up with another word. So it's like instead of whatever negative connotation you could potentially have attached to the word anger, instead we maybe say frustrated, or we say upset or irritable or whatever. That's really cool, because that could definitely shift, that would shift what you think about it. And it kind of, in a way, I love the sneaky like therapy techniques. Maybe that's why I'm a therapist in general, but I love them as a human, because I'm like, wow, because we can like trick our brain out of that negative thought cycle by just using a different word. Love it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is good. Ava sent over a little message. It says, hope isn't believing in a happy end. It's believing that any end has, oh, I don't know, it cut off. Well, send the rest, Ava. It says, has a, finish that sentence. Okay. Let's see. I know, Unity, sneaky therapy techniques. I love it. Oh, Katarina's going to be an aunt. I love being an aunt personally. That's going to be so exciting. Do we know if it's a boy or a girl, or we just know that it's a baby? Okay. Yeah, I think that could really work. People like that idea. The guesting hasn't been in order. Yes, I know. I did it out of order because some people had asked to be guested, and I try to get different people on that haven't been on before. Okay. So Stephanie's asking, can EMDR make you remember things you've forgotten? I'm starting next week, and I'm really nervous. I would assume, oh, Yana, new subscriber. Woo, woo, woo. Oh, I love the little avatar. Okay. So EMDR, just for those of you who don't know, is a way to reprocess and essentially process through a trauma. And like Alexa had said, it's almost like we're picking up all those little pieces. And I'm doing this because it's like bilateral stimulation, like we're going side to side, side to side. Britt, if you want more about EMDR, I have a video about it. You can just get on YouTube, put Kati Morton EMDR. I have a whole video about it. So it can bring up repressed memories only because we are actually, you know how Alexa talked about how we have a splintering? Like a memory can't really be stored neatly, like in a file. I like to think of it in a ball because I think of inside out. And like we create that marble and we roll it off into the storage unit, right? And instead it's like, and it's broken and it flies everywhere. And we have splinters of it all throughout those rows. And so part of EMDR is getting into that part of our brain in that storage area. And we're spending time and we're looking for all the little bits. Okay, here's the bit of the audio version of what I remember hearing. Here's the bit of what I felt in my body, like my body memory of it. Here's, another sound. Here's another visualization. And we slowly put it together into a nice memory. And so if part of that memory is repressed or there are portions of it that we literally don't remember at all, then EMDR would bring those up. That would be my guess, is that it would. I do not specialize in EMDR, by the way. And so I think that it can bring those up because we're putting together the memory and filing it away. Okay? So that would be no throwing of coffee. I would never. Do you guys ever, there it is. You ever have a tickle hair? Any of my people with long hair?
The tickle hair.
Ah, the tickle hair. When you feel it and you're like, where is it coming from? I feel it. Okay. Let's see. Heidi says, does having anorexia have to be involved with being concerned about weight? Because I'm restricting more and more, and it's not always because of weight. It definitely doesn't have to be about weight. Not in the slightest. For some people, it does, but eating disorders, just like any mental illness, can be expressed in different ways. And for a lot of people who struggle with anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorder, or OSFED/EDNOS, it's more about either the control of the food, the punishment that we feel when we don't eat or overeat, the whatever the food represents, whatever you're coping with, because it could be everything from like, I've been, I was abused and I was told that they liked that I was bony, so then I wanted to gain weight, so I'm not attractive, so they won't abuse me anymore. It could be, my parents were so overzealous and in my life and forcing me to do everything, controlling my every move. Therefore, the only thing I can control is food, so I'm going to do that. It could be represented by a lot of different things. And so eating disorders aren't about the food. They're not about the weight always. It can be different. Everyone's different. It can be more about what it means for you. What are you coping with? Are you punishing yourself? Are you, is it a version of self-harm for you? Is it a control thing? What is it? So that would be, so that's the truth, okay? Oh, Sean, they're designing them. He's asking about the shirts, the monthly shirts. And I have you all on my list, those of you who are going to design it. Oh, Lily asks, how to tell if a guy likes you. One of my favorite books, Sean, I think Sean likes me. Okay, so in truth, one of my favorite books is He's Just Not That Into You. And I know it's old, but you guys know how much I love Sex and the City. And the truth of it is that if they don't call you back, if they don't want to spend time with you, if you don't meet any of their friends, there are a lot of signs of them not liking you. And so the truth is, if someone does like you, they're just around. They're easy to get a hold of. They want to spend time. Most importantly, they make time for you and make you a priority in their life. I think that's honestly the truth. With regard to like Sean and I, when we started dating, I think that it was so easy because we both just wanted to be with each other. And so I was in school. Oh, and the book is called He's Just Not That Into You. I can actually get it off of my bookshelf. I think I've kept it. I know Allie, right? I love Carrie Bradshaw. Can't help myself, and don't want to. But I think that relationships I know that we're gonna go through periods of time in our lives where relationships are hard, because life is hard, and life is not free of stressors or struggles. So there are going to be periods of time when relationships are hard and you have to work at them. However, when we first start dating someone, ooh, Eloise Taylor's a new subscriber. When we first start dating someone, it should be super easy because we don't have shit to worry about as a couple, right? We might have our own shit, but a relationship, really, you shouldn't be have to force them to hang out with you. You shouldn't have to, get them to do, it shouldn't be like that. It should be so easy and you just enjoy each other's company. And if they're not treating you right and they're not making you a priority, tell them to fuck off. Life's too short. Don't let people treat you like garbage.
I'm capturing that moment. That's good advice right there.
Yeah. So, we should do a process not perfection t-shirt. I agree. Oh, of course, Heidi, I'm glad that I could answer the question. Oh, a shy guy in middle school. A shy guy would still make time for you. He'd still be around. He'd still want to be with you. And if he's giving you signals and he's shy, if you're not shy, I would encourage you to ask them if they want to go grab coffee sometime or go to a movie. What do we do in middle school? We went to movies. But I don't know. I'm old now, so I'm not sure what people do now. But maybe go to the football game together or go to whatever's going on. Go to an event. But yeah, I think even if they're shy, if they're giving us signals, you can make the first move. There's no one that says that the guy or the girl, anybody has to make the first move. Whoever wants to make a move. Okay. Okay. Emma, I'll try to guest you. Yeah, just give me a minute, honey. Oh, and I don't have any fan mail, Colin. I'm sorry. I haven't gone to my P.O. box yet. I'm going to try to go this weekend or early next week and get all my stuff. So maybe before tomorrow's live, if I can get over there today, then maybe I'll have it for tomorrow's live stream. If you didn't know, there's one tomorrow. We have a live stream at, is it noon? I forget what time I put it. It's in my phone. Hold on. Hold up. Noon. Noon tomorrow. And that's Pacific Standard Time. Okay. Moonlight Laura wants to know how you're doing, Sean.
I'm doing great.
Okie dokie. Let's see. Okay, so Yoit's Brittany Ann. Eloise Taylor, I don't see the question. I'm looking for it. Oh, and that's a good question, Dawn to Dusk, or Aaron. Can you ask that again? I'm looking for it. Send it again. Let me know. And if Sean, if you find hers, can you? Okay. So Brittany Ann says, I'm being forced to tell my therapist about my eating disorder, and I don't know how to comprehend this. There's been a lot of dissociation. Advice? Can you write it down? Is that easier? I know when we're forced to say things out loud that are hard or stressful. Ooh, Allie Gymnastics, new subscriber.
Is she flipping in her photo?
Yeah, she's a gymnastic. She's in gymnastics.
I'm so naive.
She's a gymnast. And I'm curious why you're forced to tell your therapist about it, but the truth is that telling them what we're struggling with is the only way we can actually get help from it. So speaking up is actually really great, and I know it's hard. But the best thing we can do if we're having to tell someone about something is to break it down into parts. To start off by, what we're feeling and what we're struggling with, and then what we're hoping to work on with them. when it comes to a therapist, that's like the easiest way to kind of break it into chunks. And then I would practice what you're going to say, because we can feel really overwhelmed and forget what we need to say and not say it correctly and leave things out. And that's completely normal. But practicing it and writing it down and all those things can help make sure, thanks Ava, woo woo, can help make sure that we, you know, get across what we need to get across so that we can get the help that we need and deserve. And take your time with it. I know you're being forced, but like just prepare a little. Just allow yourself to, you know, say it out loud, to repeat it, to imagine what they're saying, to make sure that you're getting across the points that you want to get across. Okay? Yeah, and Karen it's a great thing to say, Karen. She says, speaking our shame sets us free, as hard as it is. And that's the truth. It's like, it's so hard to say it sometimes. Ooh, Maggie, new subscriber. Woo, woo, woo. You know, so that, anyways. Ooh, Sean, what are you doing? Maggie, were Maggie sending a bunch of...
I was cheering.
Oh.
That's my way of cheering.
Sean's cheering. I was
I'm
like...
not very good at typing.
You're good at typing. I just needed to know... I needed a little, you know, inflection or connotation. Ooh, Connor Allen is here. Woo, woo. Okay. So Ava sent it again. Remember that was like that quote? Hope isn't believing in a happy ending. It's believing that every end is meaningful. That's really cool. I really like that. Thanks, Ava. Okay, and Amanda is here. Okay, sheepishness is asking, any tips on panic attacks and dissociation in the subway? The best advice I could give is honestly exposure therapy. And I know that sounds like really aggressive, but I have a video about it, sheepishness, if you want to watch it. It tells you more about it because you can do some guided visualizations. But so first, the first stage is we need to build up our relaxation techniques and things that help bring us down from panic attacks and dissociation and keep us grounded. It could be grounding techniques and it could be some relaxation techniques. We need to build those up and practice those. Then we need to slowly start visualizing ourselves. Thanks, Erin. So anyway, that's my advice for it, is like slowly building up. We visualize ourselves going, we visualize ourselves getting there, then we, you know, calm ourselves down. And we slowly, progressively, you can watch my video about it, but exposure therapy is honestly, it's a lifesaver when it comes to panic attacks and dissociation if we're struggling with a certain area, okay? Oh, and somebody's asking how I send mail. You can see it's in every description of every video. You can get my address, and it's 1223 Wilshire Boulevard, box number 665, Santa Monica, California, 90403. They can send me some mail. Ooh, thanks, Nevada Sparkles. Okay, Ava, you can send it again. That's no biggie. No biggie at all. It worked out. It worked out. Okay, let's guest. Be our guest. Be our guest. People have been, there was one person I know who has been waiting and waiting. I think I don't even see the gymnast. Geez, Katie. The gymnast. I was going to have her on, but I don't see her. Karen, are you ready to be on? And then Bridget, you're next. And then Emma, you're after that. And I haven't seen the movie Split, you guys. Everybody keeps asking me, and I haven't seen it. I didn't hear very good things about it from other people that I know, and so I haven't bothered to see it. Okay? And some of you, I didn't see you, like Aldonze, I didn't see you in the guest list. I'll look again, but I didn't see you in there. And we'll see if we can get Karen on. ZA, I forget where you're from. Oh. Yeah, I looked for you, Allie. I don't know why it like kicks people out. Okay, Bridget, you're up next. And then you're up next, Emma. Ba, 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 ba. Be our guest, be our guest. Waskley's here. Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Connection.
Yay.
I'm still getting my water
All
down.
of a sudden my computer like froze and I was wondering what was happening, but yay.
Sometimes it's data. How's it going?
It's going really good. Yeah. I first want to say thanks for your advice last week because I've been like doing some positive self-talk and about like hanging out with this friend of mine and yeah, it's been really good. So good. I've been try to be more aware of it. I've also got my blanket because blankets.
I love a blanket.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, it's 9 a.m. here, so it's like, I'm a bit sleepy and stuff.
Oh.
Because it's Saturday morning. Yeah.
You're in New Zealand, right?
Yeah, at the moment.
That's what I thought.
But I'm
like-
moving back to the UK in March, so.
Oh. Are you
Yeah,
bummed?
yeah.
The weather's better where you are, right? Or no?
I know, yeah. Like, I don't know if you can see out my window. Oh, actually,
Oh, nice.
it's really sunny.
Oh.
And I've got hay fever. It's all happening. No, I've decided to. I was abroad for like 18 months, and then I've decided to come home for like Christmas and New Year, and then I'm actually going back because I'm going to uni. So.
Yay!
Yeah. So that's exciting.
How
Yeah,
funny.
but I had one question, and I also had some like general like advice kind of thing.
Yeah.
Basically, the advice part is that I went to, my posture is like not very good, and so for Christmas I got gifted to go see like a physiotherapist person, which was really helpful. And we were talking about anxiety and stuff, and we got onto the topic of mindfulness, and I was saying, oh, it's not really working for me at the moment. And she said, well, most people lie down on the ground and just like try and breathe. And I said to her, I need some sensation in my body to be able to
calm.
like, to sort of make it work in a way. And so what I found is that if you lie on your back and then raise your knees slightly and then push your heels into the ground, is like the best thing ever.
Oh, interesting.
If that makes any sense. So you kind of are in like if you were standing, you're sort of like bending down just slightly.
Yeah, you're like slightly bent just a little.
Yeah. So you like raise your knees like, I don't know.
Does it take the pressure out of your low back? That's what I'd assume it would do. And
Yeah, and it's really helpful. So if anyone, like, I don't know, was trying mindfulness and found that it wasn't working, it was so helpful. So yeah.
That's really nice. That's like the little, the little pillow. If you've ever got a massage, they put a little pillow under your knees.
Yeah.
It's like that.
It's kind of like that. Yeah.
That kind of helps you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It feels you guys totally try it. Roll up a blanket or something. Or push your knees a little and push your heels in. It's amazing.
It's so helpful.
Yeah.
And then if you like put your heels into the ground, you kind of like, over the period of like, she said for me to do it for like 2 or 3 minutes. Okay. And you have to get like quite a sort of like that sort of good burning feeling in all your legs, because they're sort of like pushing into the ground.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's like a positive, like pain in a way.
No,
yeah.
but
So
it's a sensation.
Yeah. Sensation. Yeah, it's probably a better word for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my nose is funny.
No, you're fine. I have the same issue today. It's rain. It's like pouring down outside, which I love, by the way. I love the rain.
My question was, it was just out of curiosity. I was watching all your trauma videos with Alexa, and they were so interesting. And it got me thinking whether or not I wanted to try trauma therapy or not. And I was just wondering if there was any chance that I cause trauma on myself in a way. Or is that not necessarily the case? Maybe not trauma, but like basically I'm asking this because when like there was a period way back in like 2011-12 where I got really stressed out, and then I found that self-harming helped, and it sort of went from like minor to like it spiraled down really, really, really quickly, and I think my brain didn't have enough time to fully sort of figure out what was going on. I don't really know if that can,
No, so almost, let me just make sure, I want to make sure I understand. So
yeah.
What you're saying,
I don't know if that makes sense or not.
No, that's okay. I always like to repeat to make sure that like we're on the same page. So is what you're saying that you wonder if because your brain couldn't process it enough, that is what caused the trauma? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
In truth.
Yeah, that it was so overwhelming that my brain just, because like I struggle with dissociation. Like, and it for me, I find it's pretty constant. And so I'm slowly like trying to figure out ways that I can help that. Because I've tried a lot of CBT and mindfulness, and it hasn't really been like, it's been helpful for me, but not in that spectrum. And then
it only takes
I've been recommended to do ACT.
Okay.
but yeah, I don't really know. So I was just thinking of options.
Yeah, and in truth, because I do CBT and DBT work, and it's not the best on trauma. Like I have to refer people
No,
out,
no. Yeah,
Because,
but I never thought that I wanted to do trauma. So
but I think in truth, the ironic thing to me is exactly what you're describing is exactly what makes something a trauma. It doesn't matter like what it necessarily is. And I know there's a lot of judgment about it within ourselves. We'll be like, oh, but I wasn't abused. No one hit me, or I wasn't raped, or whatever it is, right? We like judge our own trauma. And the truth of it is that if it's overwhelming for us, if it's too much for us to process in the moment,
that was me, sorry.
that's okay. If it's too much for us to process in the moment, then it's traumatizing.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming, and that's okay. There's no like limits to what, like I think if you rewatch my PTSD video, I talk about like all it means is we have to like fear for our life in some way. Like it's so overwhelming.
Okay.
Like, could I live through this? Oh my God, this is overwhelming. And that really is it. And I would even venture to say that the fear for your life is like a little much. It's more like I couldn't process it and I couldn't get out of it. I think that's enough.
Yeah. Because like I went from like pretty happy to like
and it was too much, so it was traumatizing. So I think
so. I don't know if that was
it's normal.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
but I just was wondering if it was like a reason, well, not a reason to go to trauma therapy, but like a factor that could have contributed to why I'm feeling the way I am now.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's like why you dissociate and why mindfulness is so hard. That's why DBT doesn't really help. It's so hard. You're like asking them to do the one thing they cannot do. Because
it's like, just try breathing and sitting on a beach. I'm like, I can get why it works, but it's just not helping me.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I just can't get there. Can't do it. Nope.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's a big help.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
Cool.
Good to see you.
Yeah, and you. Bye. Oh, and see you in London.
Yes, I know.
Hopefully.
So, hopefully. I'll keep you posted.
Wonderful. Okay, bye.
Bye, Bridget. And we had a new subscriber. Woo, woo. I think it was Julie. Is that right?
Julie P.
Julie P. Hey, Julie P. I think that's an important conversation to have is like about trauma and the judgment. Oh, did we get Eloise's question?
I haven't seen one. If they post it, I'll
if you post it again, we will look for it. I don't know why.
Just post it now in the text. Post it now.
Do it now. Put it in there. Colin, I am coming to. Oh, here it is. I'm going to. Sorry, Colin. I don't know when I'll be in London, but I am coming to Europe, to Amsterdam for VidCon EU, VidCon Europe. And Sean and I are going to try to come around and meet as many of you as possible. Okay, Eloise's question is, I'm going to a party tomorrow, and the last time I went to one, I had a massive panic attack. Any advice for staying calm? It's tomorrow. Okay. We need to do as much self-care as we can today and really build up our relaxation techniques. And we're also going to need to maybe build up some grounding techniques, and we're also going to maybe need to bring a support to the party. And also think of the party situation and plan ways to take breaks and get out, like whether it's going to the bathroom and breathing for a minute. Maybe you put in your earbuds in there for a minute with like either headspace on or some calming music, or a voicemail from someone who really feels good to you and helps you calm down. And I am going to VidCon California, by the way, G. Yes. So that's kind of my advice. And a day, just the things that I talked about, like the exposure therapy. Remember I talked sheepishness, having the panic attacks. I think they said on the subway. That would be the same advice that I would give to you, because it's situational and it's causing panic attacks. And panic attacks occur because when it happens once, then it's more likely to happen again in that same area and same place, because we know that it's happened before and we worry about it happening, and then the buildup causes a panic attack. And so I would definitely look at my video about exposure therapy and start kind of, working on that and like talking about, I know, I see Sean. He's moving stuff around over there so that I read the questions and everything. But taking the time to visualize yourself going there and calming yourself down. Really up those relaxation techniques will really help. And knowing that you don't have to stay at a party longer than you want. If it starts to get overwhelming, you're like, I'm out of my tools, I'm feeling overwhelmed, you can kindly excuse yourself, thank you so much for having me, and you head home. Because we have to take care of ourselves first, right? And it'll get better. 30,000 likes! Did we have anything? Is there any, are we doing anything for likes? Has Sean set any goals? Sorry, my nose is like itching like crazy. But to get back to what Bridget was talking about, I really just want to reiterate the fact that we don't need to compare our trauma to anyone else's. If something feels overwhelming to us, if something is difficult for us, if something has made us feel like shit and we can't get over it and we struggle to stay present, we dissociate, we have panic attacks, we don't need to go get Katie food. Thanks, Alexandra. True.
Well,
I am getting kind of hungry.
Getting yelled at over.
I would like a godmother sandwich, if I do say so myself. But anyways, so though, know that you don't need to compare your trauma to anyone else's. If it was hard for you and traumatizing to you, that's all that matters, okay? Just wanted to let you know. Oh, and Maggie, yes, no comparison. Woo! Okay, and Maggie's asking if I'm coming to, oh, godmother sandwich, remind me, I'll tell you guys, hold on. But New York, it would be, we still don't know. So Sean, I don't know if you guys know, but Sean does film production. And sometimes he gets to film different events and go places to do said filming. And one of those was in New York, but we haven't heard back whether, if it was going to happen, it would be sometime at the end of March. And I will let you know as soon as I know whether we are going or not, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to go. But if not, we will be out there soon enough and I will make other plans. I'll let you know, but that was what we were kind of talking about. And so I will definitely keep you posted, okay? And then if I'm going to NYC, you'll hear about it. I'll tweet about it. I'll put it on Facebook. I'll say it in a video. So don't worry. Okay? Okay. Oh, Kayla. Someone let Kayla know, because she said she can't listen to the volume. We will have another live stream on tomorrow. Live stream tomorrow at noon. Tomorrow at noon. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Allie. I don't do Instagram questions, but you can definitely ask it below. Like, you can ask it on Twitter, you can ask it below a video, we can do something like that. Okay. Oh, there's a town called Morton where you live. Emily, do you live in Washington State? There was a little town called Morton over kind of, not, I don't know how close it was to where I grew up, but close enough that sometimes I would see it on signs when we were like, you know, taking vacation or driving around. There is a town called Morton, but I'm not from there. But that is funny, growing up I used to say, you know, Katie Morton, like the town. And then when I moved to California, I was like, Katie Morton, like the salt or the steakhouse. Because some people always think it's like Morgan or, you know, anyways, silly, silly things. Oh, Indiana. Oh, that's where Carly's from. Is that what you're saying? Okay, godmother sandwich. Sorry. So there is this deli. And Max No Sleeves and I have differing opinions on this, but there's a sandwich at this place called Bay Cities Deli in Santa Monica. It's down closer to the water. It's like over, I don't know, it's on like Lincoln, I think. Anyway, Bay Cities Deli is thebomb.com. And they make this sandwich called the Godmother Sandwich, which is like salami and ham and peppers and lettuce and tomato. And it's amazing. And they have this amazing bread. They make all their bread in-house. You guys, I dream about it. So delicious. And Sean and I don't really go there that often because it's always jamming and you have to wait forever because it's super busy.
And crowds give me the heebie-jeebies.
And Sean doesn't do well with crowds. Crowds give him the heebie-jeebies. It's true. He doesn't really like that. So I love a godmother sandwich. And just today I was like, oh, that sounds so good. I don't know. Because they're spicy. It's so good. Anyway, that's what it is. But Max No Sleeves thinks there's this other deli. It's like New York Bagel and Deli. He thinks they have a better godmother sandwich. But they don't call it that. They call it something else. But he's like, I'm telling you, they're the best. And so we have a little disagreement. But I haven't tried his. And he hasn't had the godmother in a long time. So anyway. That's the story of the sandwich. Oh, there is one Saturday at noon. Michaela, thanks for letting Kayla know. Okay. Alexandra says, get Katie a godmother sandwich. Fight the crowds. It's true. I will take pictures. You guys, do you guys follow me on Snapchat and Insta stories? I'm not very good at posting regularly, but lately, as a side note, sorry, we're taking a little...
Yeah, your Instagram is on point. You're using that more.
Yeah, I'm trying to use Instagram more and be better and take pictures. I don't really like taking pictures. Oh, hit 35,000 likes and get your sandwich, Keely says.
What?
Sean says, what?
Making stuff up now.
Oh, I love the hashtags, you guys. But anyway, this week has been really busy for a lot of reasons, and in exciting ways. I finally got the outline for the anxiety workbook put together, and I'm really excited about it. And I've learned a lot about anxiety, which the thing that's kind of cool. Oh, Denise D, new subscriber. Woo woo.
Nice.
D nice. Anyway, I was prepping all the videos. So I got all of those. Sean and I filmed 4 videos the other night, and then we're going to film 4 more either tonight or tomorrow, depending on how we feel. I need to be energized, so it's exciting. And I know you guys are wanting more of the old FAQ style, so I'm going to try to do it more like that so that it feels less edited, and it's more like when I used to do it on my hand-and-dandy cell phone. But Sean thinks the quality of a cell phone is kind of like, ooh. So anyway, so there's that. But I'm excited about the anxiety workbook because the funny thing about being a therapist is we have to do these Ooh, Alicia Marie, new subscriber. Anyway, is that as a therapist, we have to gather 36 continuing education hours every 2 years. And, oh, my Snapchat's Kati Morton 1. Good question, Allie. Anyway, and so we have to gather those hours. But I wish I could be exempt because I learn so much more from what I learned. I research for your videos than I do in any of those CEU classes. So kudos to you guys. But doing the anxiety workbook, I've learned so much. And guess what I learned, you guys? You're going to be super excited about this. But building your confidence and your positive self-talk, I've read it in 3 different articles and 1 book that it really helps with your anxiety. I swear positive self-talk helps everything. It would cure everything. It's a cure-all. Okay. Oh, in the workbook I will talk about phobias. Don't worry, Kayla. There'll be a portion of the workbook that does talk about phobias and exposure therapy. Okay? So, yeah. Anyways. Oh, the list.
What
Carly
list?
sent you a list?
Me?
Yeah.
What
Says
list?
Sean.
Where?
Did Katie show you the list I sent? Oh, the one to my email, Carly? Yes, I did. And the habanero pepper talk.
Oh. No.
Oh, Amanda says 3 positive to outweigh 1 negative. Yes, I actually read it was 5 to 1, but 3 to 1 would be good. Oh, Carrie, do you recognize this? Sean's got the back scratcher. He's been loving it. Eek!
Holding hands with you.
You can't even see it. Okay. Anyways, Ava has hashtag sandwich for Katie. I love it. Oh, I don't know. You guys, how do we write the messages that float across the screen? Ava's wanting to know, and I'm not sure because I don't see it on my end.
It happens when you're a member.
But she is.
You do see them on your end.
But she is.
Oh.
No, I don't see the way to put them in.
You see right here?
I think you click on the icon, your icon in the chat. There's Kayla. Click the tree button. And then, yeah, featuring back scratcher. Okay.
Oh, we're number 50.
We are. Look at us go. Okay, Nora, this is a good question. Nora says, is mental illness real or all in your head? Mental illness is, of course, real. The thing that I think people struggle with, because we talk about, right, how mental illness is just as important as physical health, like mental health and physical health are the same and should be taken just as seriously. I think in general, we could compare it. It's like people struggle to accept something that they can't really see. We can see the symptoms, but we can't really see a broken leg, right? We can see a broken leg, but like a mental illness, we can't see borderline personality disorder. It doesn't we don't all of a sudden have this hair that sticks out this way or something they can actually see. And so I think that people struggle to believe things they can't see, and they question them more than the things that we can. But the thing that's interesting and that I think will shift and continues to shift the conversation about mental illness and letting us know that it's not all in our head and we're not making up. Have you seen those scans, those brain scans? And I don't know what type of scan. I don't know if they're, anyway, I forget what they're called, but it shows a brain, a healthy, non-depressed brain, and compares it to a depressed brain. And you can see the functioning in certain portions of the brain aren't as good as the brain that doesn't have depression. So we can actually physically see the mental illness. And they've done it for other various ones. I would encourage you to look it up. It's really interesting. And it just proves more and more that we're not making it up. And if you feel like shit, if you're struggling to concentrate, if you feel overwhelming emotion, if you have mania, if you're feeling any of these things and going through it, it's real, it's happening. Your experience is valid, and we don't need to explain it to anybody. And I think the more that we do research on this, we'll know more. It is fascinating, Emma, isn't it? And so they even show, like in PTSD, they'll show like certain portions of the brain, like when they do the scan, it shows activity, and certain portions won't have as much activity. So, number 2 in trending. We're so trendy. Look at us. Da, 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 da. Okay. So Bridget says hi to Sean. Alden Zay says, I have BPD and wonder if I have a drinking problem and want to know the control the scroll. Okay. Says, and I wonder what differentiates an addiction. I don't know noof mammy. Do we know what that means? I'm not sure what noof mammy means. Is that maybe a typo? Okay, so anyway, if we find ourselves, this is how I would characterize. Obviously, I have a video about addiction. I have a video about alcohol dependence, I think it is, or alcohol abuse. I forget what I called the video, but you can look it up, Kati Morton alcohol. Those will come up. I think that we're as trendy as the Godmother sandwich. I know, Alexander, we are. And then I'm going to guess some of you, okay? So anyway, I think that if we are drinking because we feel bad and we're using drinking as a way to cope with something, right? Like, I had a real shit day, I'm going to go have a couple cocktails. And we can't just stop at 1 or 2. We have to get drunk. That's a problem. If we find ourselves having to drink more to get drunk and we won't stop until we are drunk, that's another problem. If we've tried to stop and we struggle to stop drinking, those are all of the flags. Those are the red flags I would look for. Please be, careful. If you are struggling, know that you're not alone. Addiction is real. It happens to a lot of people, and know that there are a ton of supports out there. AA is a great resource. I know it's not for everybody, but it's a free resource, and I think it's wonderful. Also, NA, if you struggle with drug addiction, reach out, get help. There are people there to support. And it's normal for us to, alcoholism is so prevalent, and it's normal for people to use that to cope because it's readily available. We can black out, we pass out. You can see why, and our brain becomes addicted. Anyway, alcoholism is horrible. It can ruin families. Did you guys watch Joey Garcefa's, and I'm not sure if I'm saying his last name right, but I really like him. I don't know if you watched his video about his alcoholic mother. It was really powerful, and I think it was really great that he shared his story. And yeah, so anyway. Oh, I said it right? Okay, cool. Because it looks like Gracefa, but I always thought it was Garcefa. Okay. Keely says, Katie will get her sandwich, but Sean hasn't agreed yet. Sad face.
For 50,000 likes, you get sauce with it.
Sauce? It always comes with sauce.
I have no idea.
Anyway. Oh, I'm saying it right. Thanks, Carly. Yeah, and I love Joey. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. It's really great. Okay? I'm going to guess somebody. Let's guess somebody. Emma's been waiting. Karen, do you want us to try again? We tried and it didn't let you, but you're there at the top. It's okay, Wade. You can keep asking your question. Can you look for Wade's question if it comes up?
Sure.
How many just for the sandwich, Sean? Hi, Emma. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How are you?
Thanks for being patient and waiting.
That's all right, thank you. Shall I ask my question? Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. What's going on?
So basically, my question is that I went to court. Obviously because I live in the UK. So I went to court for like childhood sexual abuse, and I took it to court when I was 19, and basically because he basically got believed, like no one believed me in the court, and so he got
I remember
away
you
with it.
telling me about this.
Yeah, and basically what I'm struggling with now is like, I don't know why, but all of a sudden I've just got like the worst anger, and that's something that I'm really struggling with. And in my head, like for me to get over it, there's only like 3 options, and really those options to me are that either I have to die, he has to die, or he goes to prison. But obviously none of those I can do, so in my head like I'm stuck. So
there's no way.
Actually, to me it's like there's kind of like no resolution, because those are the resolutions in my head, and I can't do those. So I just need to know how to get that.
What if we gave ourselves another resolution, which is, I won't be bothered by it anymore. I can move on.
I want that so much, but I can't.
I
I can't do
know.
it.
I know, but you can. And I think part of it, I know that that was terrible. Wasn't that about a year ago or 2 years ago? I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, it
Um,
didn't. You know what? It didn't really bother me at first. Like
it
it
takes a
did,
while
but
sometimes to sink in, you know?
yeah. And then all of a sudden, it's just like because I want to do it. I've wanted to do a retrial, and I've like gone to the courts and things like that, and spoken to the police about it. But I'm not allowed to do a retrial because you're not allowed to trial the same person for
Yeah.
the same
Unless you
crimes.
have new evidence or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, there's like all these, yeah. And I've had that happen with a few clients as well, where they finally got up the guts, because it takes a lot of, it's so stressful to go to court. It's really
yeah,
hard. And I'm really proud of you for doing it, because I know how hard it is. I've had clients who don't want to do it, and it takes years for them to even consider it. And then some still don't ever do it. So I'm glad that you did that. Um, and I think part of it is going to be learning ways to express your anger outward, like doing things
yeah,
that feel good for you. Because I think if I remember correctly, it sounds like you express it more inwards on yourself.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that's very normal, because anger can be the hardest emotion. That's one most of my clients struggle with. I even struggle with it. It's uncomfortable. It feels out of
yeah.
control. It's
I've
scary.
never been, yeah, I've never been angry before, ever.
Yeah.
And like, it's just literally like, it's just there and it's
Yeah.
like every
All the
single day.
time. Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
I think, like, my advice, I guess, would be, are you still in therapy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm sure you've talked about this, but I would talk about it and say, like, I'm feeling extremely angry. It's like palpable. Like it's like everywhere. I can't get around it. Can we work
Yeah.
on some healthy ways to express it? And there are some great anger workbooks out there. Remind me, tweet to me. I'll tweet you the links of them. But I think that the first thing we're going to have to do is find ways to express it. So that could be like
Yeah.
one thing I do. I'm just going to give you some examples of things that help me. I will scream in
Yeah.
my car, which seems, it's like shocking kind of, and you're like, oh, but it feels so good. And then I will scream, I'll put on like angry, like hard, crazy music and like scream the lyrics out. That feels good.
Yeah.
I also do I will physically move my body, like shaking while I scream sometimes. Feels really good.
Yeah.
I also used to have this, I used to live by a park, and I don't anymore, but they had this like cement wall that people would like play racquetball with. And I had this old soccer
Yeah.
ball. I would kick it into the wall, and I'd kick it and kick it. And then the last thing that I do, and something I find myself doing more now, is writing. Like, I honestly like a really harsh pen on paper that almost tears the paper, and I write what
Yeah.
I'm upset about, and then I crumple it up and I throw it away, and then I do it again. And I know those
Yeah.
are just a few examples, and it probably makes me sound like a lunatic, but it really helps. And you can like
Yeah.
get it out versus versus doing it in and hurting yourself, because then that just
Yeah.
builds the anger, really.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously what you're saying, like I did do that really badly, and I think because I've stopped it a little bit, like I've cut down a lot on the self-harming. So I
Yay.
think maybe that's why it's becoming worse, but
Probably.
like the anger's worse because
Yeah.
I'm obviously not venting it that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, I just need to be. I think I need to just get more comfortable with like the anger because it's one of the worst emotions I've like ever had. Actually, it's like
It is.
horrendous, and I feel
is.
like it makes me into a really horrible person.
Totally. And it's very normal. Like, first of all, everybody feels that way about anger. Like, if someone's really comfortable with anger, it's usually like they've like lashed out at everybody and they've kind of isolated themselves, and that's almost their defense mechanism.
Yeah.
But most people feel uncomfortable and feel like it makes them a bad person, but it's totally normal. Anger is a very healthy emotion. We just often don't let ourselves express it. And the fact that you're not doing the one thing, the self-injury that was like a way to be angry in and get it out some way,
Yeah.
of course it's getting worse. And I'm not saying to go back to the self-injury, but I'm like finding other ways to express it and knowing that just like anything, like those other coping skills, it's going to take a few of them to get it out where you feel good
Mhm.
and you feel better.
Mhm.
It just takes a little practice. But there's ways that we can express anger. Maybe I'll do a video about that because I think this is a really common issue. Because, we have to find ways that feel good for us, and everyone's going to be different. Like, I don't know. Those are the things that work for me. I had a client who really loved throwing tantrums. And so I was like, throw a tantrum, go home, throw yourself on the floor, kick and scream like a kid. And that was like her way. It felt really good to her.
It's funny you say that, because like at work, I do come across sometimes, like people say to me, I act like a child at work. In a sense that but that's really not a good thing for me, because I don't want to come across as a child, and I can't be coming across as a child at work. Like, just work in an office and everything, but where I can't control my emotions, it's like,
well, also as a child, if you think about it, Emma, it's like as a child you couldn't really do that, and so we have to find ways for you to lash out, to be tantrumy, to act like a child, so that when you feel like you can't, like at work, you don't have to, because we've expressed it other ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's all a process. You're getting there. It'll get better.
I will. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. Let us know what works, and share the different anger tips that help, because other people are saying, they have trouble too, and they get really angry and they self-injure, and so you're not alone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you.
Of course. Thanks for being on, and thanks for being patient.
All right, thanks.
Good to see you. Bye.
Bye.
I love her nails, by the way, and she always has the best makeup. Emma, you have to teach me your tips and tricks. Okay. You guys, I'm going to get a sandwich up in here. I'm excited. Okay. Ava said, oh, thanks, Ava. That's really sweet. She says, you're really strong. Keep going. And the Kenyans are proud of you. So that was for you, Emma. We are really proud. And it's true. It's really hard to... I missed the thing that went on the screen. I'm sorry. Do you know what it said?
It was Alicia.
Alicia?
And she said, be brave.
She said be brave. Okay. Ross Geller sandwich. I love it, Jer. Okay. So, Erin's asking, what's the best way to build a connection with a therapist that you want to work with, but you're having trouble connecting to anything right now? It can take some time. I think the best way to build connection, and this is going to sound really weird, is to share something that feels, of course, Emma, and thank all the Kenyans. Gotta love the Kenyans. And Jer the moist maker. Oh my God. Yeah, that was, talk about anger and rage, right? He totally got rage filled about someone eating his last sandwich. Okay. So, when we're struggling to connect with a therapist, it can help to share something that doesn't quite feel, thanks, Navana Sparkles. Something that feels personal, but it's not about the therapeutic work. I know this sounds really weird, but you can even talk to your therapist and say something like, could we have a more casual conversation? I'm wanting to connect with you and I'm really struggling. And you could have kind of a friend-like conversation. And I know that goes against like all of my boundary talk and therapists not sharing much about themselves, but we're not asking them to share a ton about themselves. Like, for instance, it can help clients feel connected to, maybe know that I'm married. And that's something I'm fine sharing. Also, I wear a wedding ring. People could know that. Anyways, I've been married for 4 years. You can share little tidbits. And I know that sounds really silly, but in the therapeutic relationship, it can kind of help us connect better. And Amanda, it's like a light session. Like, you take it light. It's not about therapy talk. It's more about, I love this community too. Yay. And so it helps you feel more connected. It can put down the barriers that we often build up when we feel like we have to talk about therapy stuff and like deep things and working on stuff. And I do this periodically with my clients, especially if we're working on, like, we're really intensive into DBT or we're doing a lot of CBT techniques. I'll take a few sessions here and there, sprinkle them in that are like lighter, softer. Oh, Allie Rogers, new subscriber. And so I will do that so that it can just help you connect. And Tiny Dancer agrees. Small talk and disclosure help to connect. And so I would give that a go, Erin, and see if that helps. And you can ask for it. It's okay, because it's up to them how much they want to share. And we share little things all the time so that you kind of get to know us. Even anything, like sometimes when I'm doing light sessions, I'll be like, and I went and got my nails done and did some of my own self-care. What are some things you did for self-care this week? And keep it kind of light, but yet it's still minimal disclosure so the therapeutic relationship can be built. Okay? That would be my advice, but let me know. And I know it just takes a little time for us to kind of connect and for us to feel safe and all of that stuff, okay? Let's see. Somebody was wanting to update us. I don't see you. Oh, there you are. Okay. Did you change your name? Was it different? Ibti? Oud? I feel like it was different last time. Let's see. She always has a good connection. We just have to be patient because it takes a minute. Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. I went to a party today and this was weird. But that's not the
But
point.
you
It was
went.
like,
I'm proud
yeah,
of
I
you.
went, but it's because I started university. I told you a long time
Yeah.
ago, like 2 weeks ago, that I started
Uh-huh.
university, and my fears, they kind of went down because I
Good.
discovered I have a whole day to prepare for classes, so I can just try to push some of my therapeutic stuff there instead
Uh-huh.
of having them randomly not there randomly in the week and it's in the mornings all the stuff happens. So I'm like that got sorted out, and
Uh-huh.
that's because I
Great.
talked to the thing, and they said, well, we would just go after your schedule, and I'm just really happy about that. And
Yay.
so it just went well the whole week.
That's
The only
awesome.
thing I'm not used to is I'm tired all the time, and I don't know why. Because before I'm still on my medication, it helped me
Uh-huh.
to be more hyped and things, but I'm still like really tired all the time, and I don't know why. And I think it's have something to do with like this new stuff, and I get sad
Yeah.
or suddenly, like I get really sad suddenly for 10 seconds, and I really want to cry, and then I'm fine, and I'm like, what's happening? Is it because
Yeah,
of
and
the
it
stuff?
could be, like you said, it could be because of the new stuff. Like you have a lot of stuff going on and you're back in
Yeah.
school. Do you know what I mean? Like all this stuff is happening. And so give yourself a little bit to adjust. I always tell my clients to give it a month because it can take us a few weeks to get into the routine and for our body, because our bodies are really adaptive. But at first they can feel
Yeah.
tired, we can feel irritable, and things can be harder. But then if we give it a minute and we use our tools and we talk about it and we're going to therapy, we're doing our things, but it just takes us a little while to kind of catch up. And that's completely normal. Almost all of my clients, if they've been out of school for a period and then they start again, it's always hard for the first few weeks.
Okay, so it's not weird that I suddenly just want to cry or I want to panic or something, and then I suddenly am normal like some seconds later, even though it's weird.
I mean, I would let your team know. I'd let your therapist and psychiatrist know.
Yeah.
But as long as it's not happening that often, I always give a little transition period just to see. Because
Yeah.
if it's impairing you and you feel like terrible and you're like, I can't do this, then definitely say something. Definitely speak up like right now and get more
Yeah.
help. But my thought is it's kind of a transition thing because I have clients who, like, let's say we're working on self-injury, for instance, and they'll start a new job or move or have some stressor because even though
Yeah.
it's exciting and things are good, it's still stressful. And then those urges will come back and they'll be like, what the hell? I haven't wanted this for so long. What's going on? Am I back at square one? Am I, and so they kind of freak
Yeah,
out. I'm like, it's
how it
okay.
feels. It's how
Yeah.
it feels like that in back to square one. For example, I was at the party and normally I had fun till suddenly I was almost anxious and almost had a panic attack and I was like, am I at square one again? Because
Yeah.
I have been conditioning myself to big groups and stuff, and then
Yeah.
suddenly I couldn't be uh in a big party, and I normally like being in big parties, so
Yeah,
it
and
was
give
really
yourself
weird.
a bit. You're not back at square one. All the work you've done is still there.
Okay.
We're trying something different, right? We're doing something we
Yeah.
didn't know we could do, and it's working out, but it's just a little hard right now. But I would still
Yeah.
talk about it in therapy and stuff and make sure you're still making time for yourself. Um, but I think
Yeah,
it'll
I'm
get better.
struggling with that because I don't I don't I can't say no. Like I have a problem with like going back and feel it's too much, and then I'm just like, no, I will stay here longer because I will miss out on something, and don't know why I do that.
No, yeah, but it's okay, right? I think part of this is like we're learning. So we have this new situation, we have new things going on. We like to be social. We like going to parties, but we have to figure out like the balance of what feels okay for us. How much can we do? When should we say no? And that's okay. We have to kind of learn as we go, and maybe this week do one less thing than you normally would and see if that helps you feel better, because we're kind of trying to figure out what feels good, and we're in this whole new scenario. And in the comments, everybody's saying that they feel the same, that this is like something they deal with a lot and feel like they're back at square one, or that they're, the fear of missing out on things, and like not wanting to miss a party or an event or anything. So, but give yourself a little, just give it a few more weeks. Talk to your team.
Yeah.
You're doing great. We've talked about it. We got our schedule fixed and worked out, right? Like those are exciting things. And now we just have to. Go ahead.
And then I'm doing something I love. It's like just stuff that I love. I chose the right thing, and I'm just really happy about that. So everything is good. It's just so weird to have a period in time, and I'm just really
but it's okay. You're not back at square one. Yeah. It's okay. You're not back at square one. We're just in a time of transition. And I'd let your therapist know, just so they're aware, because if it does continue, then it's maybe something we want to talk about. But we're still moving forward. Things are better. We just have to navigate this new amount of stuff that we're asking of ourselves, right? And how much can we manage before we feel overwhelmed? And we're just kind of learning. But it's okay.
Okay.
Thanks for keeping us posted. Oh, you froze. Oh, there you are. Thanks for being on, and let us know how it goes. Let us know in a couple weeks how you're doing, okay? Okay. We'll see you soon.
Hi.
Bye. Bye. Oh, it froze there at the end. Weird. Usually we have a perfect connection. Okay. Ava, I see your question. Need to find a new therapist, but all in my area are quite old, and I feel like, let's see. Oh, you're a guest. We had you on before, I believe. Let's see what Ava's got here.
Be our guest, be our guest.
Be our guest, be our guest.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. It's okay. How are you?
I'm good. So you're asking about finding a new therapist?
Yes. I currently have a therapist in a group where they only take teenagers, and I'm nearly 19 in a few months.
So you're like, I'm not a teenager. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have to change therapist, but all in my area they are like 50 plus, and I think I can't work with that age group. Like, I can't have a male therapist. It's like 50 plus is, for me, it's not that good, and I don't know what to do now. Like, should I don't know, should I see another therapist in another town, or I don't know, try it?
I mean, that's definitely something you could try to do. I don't know how far the other town is. There's a couple things. So first, like, you can definitely request to see a woman, and that you only want to see a woman. I only like seeing a woman therapist, and everybody has their preference. I've had some people who prefer to see males, and it's up to you. You can say, I only want to see a woman. I would give them a try. Being older, I know it sounds like, how am I going to work with them? But I've been surprised myself. Like, I thought I would want a younger therapist myself, like more my age-ish, like let's say like 35, 40. But when I went to them, I ended up preferring a little older of a woman. And she was probably almost 60. And it surprised me that I actually got along with her, and I really enjoyed it. So I would give it a try if the other towns are really far away. But know that you want to be comfortable, and it's worth finding someone that you feel connected to. And if you think them being too old, they're not going to, be in touch, then it's your right to pick who you want to see. But if,
like
I would
current therapist.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What?
My current therapist, I don't know her exact age, but I guess she's like about 30s or something like that, and I think that's a perfect age for me to have a therapist, and I don't know, I think I should try at least with an older therapist. Maybe it will work, but I'm so insecure about it, and yeah.
Yeah. But if you don't like it, like that's the wonderful thing about therapy is that if you don't like them, you don't connect, you don't have to keep seeing them. You know?
Yeah.
So if you go and you're like, ooh, because we usually know right away. Like we don't know right away necessarily if it's going to really work, but we'll know right away if we don't like them at all, you know? And so I'd give it a try just because age doesn't mean anything necessarily. It's all about the person. Because, I mean, for instance, my mom's boyfriend he just turned 70 and he acts like he's like 30. Like he gives me a run for my money in the energy go, go, go department. So he's like always wanting to do things. He's super adventurous, you know, and so I'd give it a try and just see if you connect with them. And if you don't, you can always move on.
Yeah, I will try.
Okay. Keep us posted, okay?
Okay, thank you.
It's good to see you.
Thanks.
Bye, Ava.
Bye.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of important, you know. Oh, Novana Sparkles, can you guest? Okay. Yes, I can. And then we're gonna go because my laptop's about to die. That's the truth. Anyways, so I think it's really important to know that sometimes we may think that we're going to want a certain type of therapist and they have to look a certain way and act a certain way and be a certain age, but it's really about the person because it can be so different. Everybody can be so different. We want to just make sure that we're really connected. Oh, thanks, Manda. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, there you are. I was like, I didn't see you, but you're at the very bottom. Yes, Navana Sparkles, we're guesting right now. Okay, of course, Ava, happy to help, and I hope that, you know, you found that to be a little, you know, eye-opening and just remind you that you don't have to keep seeing them. Hi!
Hello!
Cool.
I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you. It's kind of sarcastic.
I know, that's why I figured, and I love it.
Well,
so what's going on?
I've got a question because I've got OCD, like, quite bad, and I've got problems with like sitting on certain chairs or like sitting on certain like places in the car or whatever, and it's just because I feel really grossed out by them. It kind of makes sense in my head, but it doesn't for any other person, obviously.
Mm-hmm. That's how OCD is. It makes sense to us, right? You know.
I've been trying to talk back to like the voice in my head, like saying like, oh, it doesn't make sense, but it's still really hard. Do you have any tips, like how to cope with that, like kind of like getting over the disgust,
the uncomfortable feeling with, yeah, because the thing about OCD, for any of you listening, it's like we'll have these thoughts and beliefs, right, like that they're disgusting, we don't like those chairs, that we can't, and it could be anything. It depends on what your obsession is, but we'll have these thoughts and beliefs about something, and the only way that we can make that uncomfortable feeling go away is by doing the compulsion, like not sitting on the chairs or doing something a certain number of times or acting in a certain way. And that's the hardest part of overcoming OCD, is managing the discomfort. And the best way to be truthful is, it's kind of I like to think of it as like a mesh between exposure therapy and CBT, because what I find works the best, and let me know, like, and also in the chat, people, let me know if you have different thoughts on this, but I find that not doing the compulsion, like sitting in the chairs you don't want to sit in, okay?
Yeah.
And then using some of your, like, talking back to yourself about it and using some calming techniques, because the thing that we have to try to do is proving to ourselves over and over that it's really not that bad, that nothing bad is going to happen if I do this. It's going to be okay. And it takes a lot of practice, unfortunately. But before even necessarily trying to do that all the time, like, really figure out what helps you calm down, what helps you get out of that thought cycle. You know, we need to try to find the things that help us the most. And that could be anything from silly putty. It could be like writing about it. It could be talking to a friend. It could be some thought stopping techniques. I have videos you can like YouTube Kati Morton thought stopping. If you feel like it just runs and runs and runs, there are some things that we can do there. And so building those up and then doing the things that are uncomfortable and reminding ourselves it's going to be okay.
Yeah,
And then,
sometimes.
Mhm.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
I usually don't like, except for with like really small things. I've been doing like a list with my therapist, like what to conquer first, because my initial problem is exam anxiety, and she says if I conquer like those compulsions, I will get over the compulsion of the exam anxiety much easier. So
Uh-huh.
I've been trying to tackle that first, because now at the moment there are no exams, but I just don't get to the point where I say like, oh, okay, I can like go out of the shower without putting socks on so I don't touch the floor, something like that.
But that's okay. We could start, like, the thing is, think of it more progressive. It doesn't have to be all or nothing, especially something like that. Like, you could get out of the shower and, like, touch your toe and then put your socks on. And then tell yourself it's going to be okay. Nothing bad is going to happen. I'm not
Oh,
going
that's a
to,
good idea.
like, just doing things progressive.
Thank
Like,
you.
like the sitting on the chair, like, don't feel like you have to sit on it forever. Like, doing a minute or 30 seconds at a time or 10 seconds could be a huge, leap for you. And so letting you know that it can be progressive. And that's why we have to build up the things that we can do to help ourselves calm down and talk through it, because that's what we're really going to need once we've stopped doing the thing, right? So like we touch our toe,
Yeah.
and then we're going to have to do some things to help talk ourselves through it and calm ourselves back down and know it's going to be okay. And then maybe we hold our toe for a little bit.
Yeah,
You know,
that's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So start with the little bits and always think if there's because I know there's a bunch of different things we do, right? With OCD, it's not like we just have one thing. So start
Yeah.
noticing the things that you do that maybe hinder you or bother you the most,
Yeah.
and then start thinking of them a little bit progressively. So, like, what would I do? What would be the little step first? Is it just, and then see if it helps. Let me know. Because that's what I found to be the most beneficial for my clients, but everybody's different. So,
I also like notice quite a bit of a difference when it comes to like mood, because I've been tracking my mood lately, because I felt like this was very like fluctuating quite a lot, and I was like, is that normal? And I've been noticing the better I feel, like the greater I feel, like the easier it becomes, and then I start like regretting the things I did, like when I feel really low again, which is really weird.
but that's normal. It affects our mood so much, our compulsions and doing them or not doing them, and it's oddly like freeing kind of when we allow ourselves to do the things, because people don't realize how uncomfortable OCD is. They think that you like enjoy it, but that's not the truth at all. It's like terrible. And so when we're not doing them and we don't feel so, stuck, we can feel so much lighter and just freer. And so as we kind of challenge those, hopefully you'll start to feel your mood. Yeah. So,
Also, for everyone else, I've got one little advice. Also, my hand looks huge because of like the.
oh, you're fine. You're fine.
I got on Amazon. I got one of those tangles, and I can just recommend them for everyone, because it's just so. When I get nervous in class, I just do that the entire time, and like my friends who don't even have like mental health struggles, they go like, "Oh my god, that's so great! That's so addictive."
It is. That's awesome. Thank you.
Calming. And it's just better than like picking on like your skin or whatever.
Yeah, do another thing. Totally. I sent those out as a Patreon gift a few months back. Yeah, and I got the small ones because you can kind of like hide them if you want. That's so cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, good to see you. Thanks for waiting. Bye. Okay, bye.
No, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Okay. Oh, she's gone. It's okay. Tangles are awesome, you guys. Theyarethebomb.com. Okay, everybody. Thank you. Oh, of course, Nirvana Sparkles. Typos, typo, schmipo.
Capture the moment.
And thanks, Ava, for being on. It's definitely helpful. Oh, yeah, of course. I'm glad it was helpful. Okay, you guys. It's time to go. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you tomorrow at noon. And it's finally Friday. I was actually thinking maybe we'll set a random goal and then I will karaoke finally Friday, because we have a bar in our area that has karaoke on Friday nights What do you guys think about that? And then Sean can put it up. Maybe on Snapchat, maybe on Insta stories, maybe on both. I don't know, but it's finally Friday, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye!